Hello everybody, it's your old buddy Pete, and I have some tips on starting the Craftsman M110 lawnmower. This tutorial also applies to the M220 lawnmowers. All the lawnmowers I've used in the past have had a primer bulb. If there's too little fuel in the combustion chamber, you press the bulb and it pumps fuel into the combustion chamber. If you press it too many times and there's too much fuel in the chamber, it won't start. You flooded it. The Craftsman M110 has no primer bulb, nor does it have a choke. If you're not having any luck starting it, I'll show you what works for me. Let's start out with option 1. First, take the cover off the air cleaner. Spray starter fluid into the air cleaner adapter. It may start but only run for a few seconds. The fact that it can start tells us something about the machine. It tells us the problem is not the spark plug, or it's less likely to be the spark plug. For now, let's assume the spark plug is fine. Right now, let's assume that it's a fuel delivery problem. Not enough fuel is getting into the combustion chamber. Go ahead and repeat this step a few times. Sometimes a machine needs a little help getting started, but once it's running, it'll be fine. If you still have no luck, let's move on to option 2. Turn the lawnmower onto its side. Turn it so that the gas tank is up and the exhaust mechanism is down. This is a relatively new lawnmower, so the exhaust mechanism is a silver color. That goes down and the gas tank goes up. At this point, it doesn't hurt to inspect the undercarriage to make sure that the blade can turn, that there's nothing stopping it from turning. There's a number of usual suspects that impede the blade. Maybe you ran over some rope, fishing line, gardening twine, ivy, sedge grass, or maybe a clump of wet grass has dried and hardened. Give the blade a turn. You can tell by the design of the blade which way it's supposed to turn. The blade may rotate very easily for 180 degrees and then become very stiff. Apply enough torque to push on through and rotate it 3 or 4 times. It may be the case that the blade is very difficult to turn the entire cycle. That's fine. As you turn the blade, you'll hear a hiss, gurgle, or churning sound from inside the air filter lid. If you hear nothing, it would behoove you to continue slowly turning the blade until you do. Try starting it again. If you get it started and you run it for a while, you should have no problem starting it again. You don't need to turn the lawnmower onto its side and turn the blade. In fact, don't. If you successfully run it for a while and the engine is warm and then you're having trouble starting it once again, go back to option 1 with the starter fluid into the air cleaner adapter. Say that you've done all this and it still doesn't work. Well, let's move on to option 3. Prop the machine up and remove the spark plug. The plug is recessed, so a crescent wrench won't work. You'll need a spark plug wrench. Remove the spark plug and spray starter fluid into the combustion chamber. If you don't have an extension tube to the starter fluid, use a drinking straw. Or take apart a pen and use the barrel of the pen, just to guide the fluid in there. It'll run for a few seconds and then it'll die. Even though you will fail on this step, try it anyway. So you've tried starter fluid, it ran for a few seconds and then died. Now it's time to go to option 4. You're gonna put gasoline in the combustion chamber. That little hole is recessed, and you may think that you're good enough to put gas in the chamber without spilling it, but you're not. Not only will you fail to get gasoline into the chamber, you're gonna splash gasoline all over the engine, which leads to other problems. Avoid starting a machine that's covered with gas. Also, you'll kill the grass. In order to avoid spilling gas everywhere, get a funnel and tape on an extension tube. You can use tubing from anything. You can use tubing from a fish tank aerator. You can use a random pipe, whatever works. If you try this method, I guarantee you'll put too much gasoline into the chamber, it'll be flooded, and it won't start for the first couple of pulls. As you pull, excess fuel will be jettisoned out of the exhaust mechanism. Don't worry about that. Now, why use gasoline and not starter fluid? Starter fluid burns very quickly and may not give the machine time to pump fuel, mix it with air in the carburetor, and go through enough cycles to keep on running. If you put gasoline in the chamber and put back on the spark plug, of course, the cord may be very difficult to pull, even impossible to pull. Turn the mower onto the side. When you rotate the blade, the crankshaft will be very stiff. Slowly rotate the blade 3 or 4 times, and then give it another go. Hopefully, you can get it running. Say that you get it started, and you have a wonderful time mowing the lawn. Well, what about next time you try to get it started? Or what about next year? I'll give you some tips on increasing your chances of success for future starts. First, don't be one of those people who leaves your lawnmower outside year-round. Try to bring it under cover. When summer comes to an end and then I put the lawnmower away for the winter, I drain the gas. When I pull it out in the spring, the day I purchase new gasoline at the beginning of the season, I add stabilizer. Doesn't hurt a thing. Also, when I buy a new toy with a gas-powered engine, I go online and buy a carburetor kit. They sometimes come with an air filter and spark plug. I know that I'll need these things at some point in the future anyway, and it may be cheaper and easier to get these things now instead of waiting 10 years. Good luck with your lawnmower and have fun mowing your lawn.